So today we'll be covering how to identify and change the battery on the circuit board for the Checkweighers. So you can see here, the HMI is prompting us as a warning that it's running with factory default settings and that we need to replace the battery. And it's just a CR2032 battery that replace on the motherboard in the back of the panel here. On some of the older Checkweighers, you might not get this screen, but if you find yourself typing in name, so we've typed in the product name test for program 1, and if when you power cycle, and we'll let it boot back up, that if you find that your Checkweigher keeps on reverting back to new program name or not your normal program names, we'll probably have to replace the battery. See, it's reverted back to our new recipe name and not our test, because right now we don't have this battery installed in the machine. So we'll go around to the back of the machine and install the battery. So this is the Checkweigher circuit board, and here's our battery. We want to be mindful of the adjustment tab and which way to insert this battery, that the locking tab should lock onto the outside edge there, and then the left side of the battery is like so. And now you can see also our battery low light has gone out. If I remove the battery again, our low battery light is on. So you just want to make sure that you haven't installed the battery backwards. So now our battery's in place, and now we'll go around to the front of the machine, type in our new product name, and you'll see it'll persist during power cycles. So here's the battery. You want to make sure that the plus side is up against this locking tab, like so. So some of our other Checkweigher boards have coin cells that are located differently. Here's from a CW600 error. You just lift up on the tab, and then you can squeeze the battery out. And then some other Checkweighers have a load cell board that's hiding the battery. You'll have to remove a screw and pull off the scale board, and then you can gain access to the battery. These are for different variations. Check the voltage of a battery if you're unsure. Set it to DC volts, negative on the unlabeled side, positive on the positive side, 3.2. If it dips below 3, recommend replace that battery. But you do have to remove the battery to test it. It's important to, when you have settings in the Checkweigher, to change that battery when it's powered on, because it preserves the settings during a power cycle. So now we'll update our product name like test again. So now program 1 is test, and we'll power cycle it. All right, so we're going to power the Checkweigher back on. We won't get that red screen anymore, so we'll wait for it to boot up. So boot it right to the splash screen, no red factory default. If I go into main, select, and here's our product name test that has persisted through the power cycle. So the battery's backing up your product names.